2 weeks ago, 16 teams began the quest. Now we're down to 2. Curaçao and the United States champions from Hawaii. The only 2 teams standing on Little League's Field of Dreams. Only in memories, or so you would think. Once a year in a small town in rural Pennsylvania, the present meets pastime. Families, fans merge into one in a picture-perfect stadium, immune to the trials and troubles of our age. Look around this place, and all you see are ball players. Listen, and you hear lessons that resonate forever.
I know it hurts. Don't you ever forget what you did for this town.
There is a palpable feeling here that will reach even the most cynical heart without difficulty. This may be the only place in our world where anyone can relive those days when heroes were larger than life. Grass stains and eye black were badges of honor, and happiness to be found on a dusky summer evening between 2 white lines. Welcome to the Little League World Series, where for one brief moment, memories are allowed to live and breathe and play a game called baseball. What a great scene here in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, as our championship game is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Early this morning, about 8 o'clock, they began lining up on the Little League hillside. Fans from Hawaii have traveled here over the last couple of weeks to see their children. And Curaçao has showed up just as they did a year ago when they won the championship. Folks, this team from Curaçao, they've become the darlings of the Caribbean. 4-1, and revenge for that lone loss against Japan last night. And, of course, Eva Beach, Hawaii, the amazing youngsters from just outside Honolulu, the only unbeaten team still at the Little League World Series, and they will attempt to run the table. Welcome again, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. A pleasure to be alongside the man I've now called the Pied Piper of Little League Baseball, Harold Reynolds. Harold, you know, the quality of play this year has just been so good.
It's incredible. They get better every year, Brent. This year, 23 ground ball double plays, believe it or not, in only 31 games played. These youngsters are doing it all.
We were here a year ago, and look who's back. Jurickson Profar, who led Curaçao to that victory over Thousand Oaks, California. He was the big hitter in that game, the 2-run homer that propelled them to victory and their first ever World Series title. And last night it was his right arm.
Oh, he was dominant. He was throwing balls equivalent to 101 miles an hour in Major League Baseball. The team from Japan just couldn't catch up to him. 5'8". He's just an absolute dynamite youngster at 12 years old. And you know what? He's got some friends that were on that club last year. There's 4 of them. Willie Rafaela, he's going to be catching. And here you get a good look at Sorvik Libera. He's going to be on the mound. He had almost a no-hitter. We'll talk about that later. Christopher Guerrero, he comes off the bench. He's hitting .429. And then obviously the stud right there, Jurickson Profar. I mean, they are some kind of team.
Yeah, he'll be playing shortstop, but that bat will be very prominent lineup. Folks, we want to take you back 2 moments for this Hawaiian team. Only 1 hit against Louisiana, but Baniaga, the youngster nicknamed Bubbles, rode it out for a 2-run homer. And then yesterday, in that game, dramatic victory, Kalen Pimentel with the bases loaded and only 1 out, a pop-up. And the runner strays too far from second, an inning double play. And Hawaii rides it out for a 6-1 victory over the team from Vista, California. So here's the left-hander, Harold Quentin Guevara.
He's going to be pitching, but you wonder, how are they able to win? Well, look at all these youngsters. Look at the numbers. The ERAs around the bottom, incredible. The only one who will not be eligible to pitch tonight will be Alakai Agape because he's reached the maximum 4 innings he has to rest. But they're ready to go, Brent.
Look at the youngsters from Hawaii. And over here, the defending champions from Curaçao.
Get them before they're gone. Little League programs.
Our scene as we get ready for the Little League World Championship game between Curaçao on Hawaii. This game, of course, will be broadcast in high definition, and looking splendid in high def is Sam Ryan. Let's go to Sam.
Well, thank you, Brent. And hey, baseball's come a long way in Curaçao. The island didn't get its first T-ball program until the mid-'80s. Today, upon arrival outside the airport, the welcoming sign is last year's championship team. These kids are national heroes. After winning it all last year, they were showered with gifts, including computers, printers, scanners, digital cameras, watches, championship rings, McDonald's for a year, KFC for a year, Pepsi Cola. They were even given bank accounts by a local bank with the equivalent of $600 US. How's that for some incentive? So how big is this for Hawaii, Pen Holderness?
Well, to give you an idea of what a momentous occasion this is for Hawaii, in the history of the state, only 2 teams have ever won national championships. The most recent one did it before these guys were ever born. Actually, back in the 80s, the University of Hawaii volleyball team won 3 consecutive national championships. Then in the 70s, Bobby Valentine, part of the Hawaii Islanders team, did one in the Pacific Coast League. This team can be added to that list. If they win today, they will be world champions rather than national champions. Brent?
And Penn, Harold Reynolds' brother Don was on that Islander team, along with Bobby Valentine. So Eva Beach, Hawaii won the coin flip. They're the home team. You saw the youngsters take the field. And Curaçao, well, it's located just off the coast of Venezuela. They have a favorite son who's a big star in Major League Baseball.
Hi, I'm Andrew Jones, Atlanta Braves. I'm rooting for Curaçao in the Little League World Series. Keep going.
And here is Andrew Jones's Kellogg's Frosted Flakes starting lineup, and note that Jurickson Profar, their big bat, will bat third, play short. Let's have the youngsters introduce themselves.
Meu nome é Jamara, meu jogador preferido tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Diensto Manuela, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Jurickson Profar, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Soares Ribeira, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Nain Lourenço, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Dara Severina, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones. Meu nome é Raila Reina, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Willy Rafaela, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Dancy Reviti, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Curaçao Garria, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Rashlon Carolina, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Alexandre Rodrigues e meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones. Meu nome é Shormel Cruz, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Meu nome é Michael Rodolfo, meu jogador favorito tá Andrew Jones.
Maybe Andrew Jones might get a few all-star votes out of Curaçao.
I'm pretty sure he does. Well, here's our pitcher today, Quentin Guevara. Now, you might have seen him close a couple games out. He had been closing, but now he's starting the ball game. His favorite athlete is Michael Vick. And here we go, Brent.
All right, the son of the manager and the smallest player in this year's World Series, K.O. Aliviado. He plays first base, but at 4'6", he plays a lot larger than that as he, of course, is out at first base and leading it off. Jaime, I got confused there for a moment, Harold, and I was thinking about the manager of the Hawaiian team with his youngster out at first base, and of course it is Curaçao, Jaime, Manuela, and Profar. There's the youngster over there. He's a delight. You get a great charge out of watching him today.
Guevara comes out Throwing a lot of strikes. He'll be around the plate the whole game. First strikeout right there, a little off-speed pitch. He likes to pitch the ball in and out. And the sophistication of these kids has advanced so much. They understand how to set hitters up and when to get them out.
Manuela, batting left-handed, steps in now. Watch his style at the plate. There are times when he thinks he's going to get a little off speed, a little change up. He'll change up how he attacks in the batter's box.
Start walking up on that pitch and slap it to left.
Harold, why do you think Aliviano, the Hawaiian manager, decided to use the closer in each of the last two games to start this game?
I think nerves, because you can throw one inning by the rules of Little League Baseball and still be eligible to come back. And if you can get a youngster on the mound before you have to have him out there in big type situations, you help him relax a little bit better.
2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out here. Been overcast. There was a rain throughout the Williamsport area earlier this morning, but you can see that the sun is starting to peek through on your screen, and we're pretty confident that we're going to have clear skies ahead for this championship game this afternoon. It's been a couple of years since the United States has claimed a championship. The last one won by the youngsters from Louisville, Kentucky. Two strikeouts, so a pretty good decision.
Yes, it was. Well, he's got a devastating pitch. He's got a ball that's going to cut back on the left-hander. He throws almost like a cut fastball, and all you do is adjust the grip on this. It may look like a slider in Major League Baseball, but that's just a little cutter, and that's a nice pitch at this level.
Our home plate umpire, David Murphy from Lubbock, Texas. So Guevara is ready, and the big man, Jurickson Profar. And he was looking for another one out on Little League Hill.
He was letting it go.
He is something. Last night against the Japanese team, in case you didn't get a chance to watch it, Curaçao put 2 runs on the board in the first inning, and Profar did the rest. And even though with Mom watching, and last night she was there watching her son pitch, even though the Japanese youngsters threatened several times, nothing came up. Ground ball is bobbled, and in time as Baniaga, the hitting star for Hawaii, comes up with the assist. So we'll move to the bottom of the first inning, and it'll be those amazing youngsters from Hawaii due up. Aliviano will be the leadoff hitter this time.
It can be tough dragging a suitcase that weighs almost as much as you do. But don't count out the littlest of little leaguers, because they can pack a heavy punch. So even if it seems like they're playing in the shadows of their teammates, remember, they're not wearing number 1 for nothing.
And here he is at 4 feet 6 inches. He'll be the leadoff hitter, and he's a delight. Keo Aliviano, the son of the manager. We look down now at this beautiful scene, because for 80 years, one of America's most recognizable images, the Goodyear blimp, is floating overhead. We say a good day to our crew up there, and it looks like clear sailing. Whenever the blimp shows up, you know you're going to have good weather. Those fellas, they check the radar. Now our Kellogg's Frosted Flakes lineups, and we can see that after Aliviano, the power guys 3, 4, and 5. Agliape, Shane, Baniaga. Let's have the fellas introduce themselves.
My name is Nathan Aliviano. My favorite player is David Ortiz.
Hi, my name is Myron Enos, and my favorite player is Bobby Abreu.
Hi, my name is Olakai Agape, and my favorite player is Manny Ramirez.
Hi, my name is Shane Baniaga, and my favorite player is Manny Ramirez.
My name is Michael Memel, and my favorite player is Barry Bonds.
Hi, my name is Juan Fiel, and my favorite player is Barry Bonds.
Hi, my name is Quentin Guevara, my favorite player is Bobby Abreu.
Hi, my name is Ty Turpak, and my favorite player is Nolan Ryan.
Hi, my name is Zachary Rossetti, and my favorite player is Manny Ramirez.
Hi, my name is Ethan Javer, and my favorite player is Ichiro Suzuki.
Hi, my name is Zachary Rannett, and my favorite player is Derek Jeter.
Hi, my name is Harrison Cam, and my favorite player is Andrew Jones.
Well, it is just about 10 o'clock, so we say good morning to all of those fine folks over in the Hawaiian Islands. There you are, watching some of your friends, relatives in certain cases. A lot of the parents have traveled here from Oahu, which is where the Ewa Beach team is located, about 20 minutes from downtown Honolulu, we were told. And there's the wife of the manager and the mom of the leadoff hitter. And this has been something. Here he is. He's done a fabulous job. Leighton Alviado. And his son steps into the batter's box now. Name is Layson. The Hawaiian name is Kao. And his favorite team, like so many of these youngsters, influenced by last year's great performance by the Boston Red Sox. They've tabbed the Red Sox as their favorite. So here he comes now against Sorik Liberia, one of the four fellas that Harold told you was on last year's championship team. He played shortstop last night. And he's a right-hander. Harold, what can you tell us about Liberia?
Well, one thing, he loves mashed potatoes and salmon. I'm sure he's going to have that a little later.
Sounds plenty good.
The other thing about him, though, he will throw a fastball overhand and stay right on top. He comes straight over, nice, easy motion. And he had actually almost had a no-no. See another pitch, another fastball down the middle. 5 2/3 earlier here in the Little League World Series against a team from Saudi Arabia. Gave up a double with the last out standing in that game. Too bad.
And we were told by the coaching staff for the Caribbean champions, not as fast as Profar. And he took something off that pitch to reach in and throw a strike, and now he's ahead of the count.
See the swing the little guy took right there? He aired it out. He's even smiling. Dad's like, good swing.
He's got as much armor on that one elbow as Barry Bonds has.
Yes, he does.
2-2.
Yeah, Brent, we were talking about Layson's Hawaiian name being Kaeo. Actually, the full Hawaiian name is Kaeo Okamana Okamakali'i. It's 13 syllables. It actually means small but strong and sturdy. And they named him this at birth. You can see they got it right. His sister, Lucy Aliviado, actually has another Hawaiian name. She's sitting in the stands. And her Hawaiian name means the brightness of her smile will steal many hearts. So these parents very wise when naming their kids at birth.
Yes, they are.
Kao will work just fine for you and me, Harold.
Yeah, that's cool.
Battling him here as the leadoff hitter, huh? Give himself a little quality at bat here against their starting pitcher.
You saw his numbers. He doesn't have a whole lot of hits, but he has really had some good at bats, and it just kind of generates the whole offense. And if he's able to get on, they've been able to bring him around.
Well, he's worked the count full.
Does he not have the cutest face?
He doesn't.
What a
Father says he's mellow since coaching his older brother. And he's on with a walk. So Ewa Beach, Hawaii, like we said, just outside of downtown Honolulu on West Oahu Little League. And you can see, and of course, Maui, Hawaii, Kauai, Lanai, Molokai, all the islands backing this team. Oh, yeah.
Come on back, Brent. Come back to Williamsport.
I'll let it, man. One of my favorite places in the world. And Kini Enos. And he could come in and do a little bit of pitching, as Harold pointed out. He's the shortstop. And his father is a remarkable story. I'm sure that Penn will give us the full details later in the broadcast. But his father actually quit his job, and they wouldn't give him time off. He said adios and out the door, and I'm really hopeful that he gets hired back when he returns. Is there anything better than a father and a mother following their child to the Little League World Series? And here is Pops. But you know, he was very smart, folks. He borrowed $12,000 to pay the travel expenses before he said adios. I like that. Very, very well done, Myron. Excellent lad.
Well, his dad's a truck driver, so if you own a trucking company out there, go ahead and help him out. But yes, took out a $12,000 loan. Smart man.
Yeah, John, that was employed. He was employed at the time. 20 minutes later, he wasn't. 2 balls and no strikes. You just cannot beat the stories that you encounter at the Little League World Series. Year in and year out, these 8 teams now for the United States and the 8 international teams, the growth of this sport. I find this Curaçao story to be remarkable because, folks, they play in the same Little League regional as the Dominican Republic. Now, think about all the Dominican youngsters we know, swung on and missed here, that are playing Major League Baseball. So you know the talent that exists in the Dominican, and Curaçao over the last few years has dominated them. And there we see Vernon Isabella, the manager. He was here a year ago. He does an outstanding job with these Little League athletes. They're guarding the line down the left field line. And their starting pitcher, Harold's having trouble finding the strike zone.
Yeah, and he usually throws a lot of strikes. The thing you run into a lot of times when they get to the championship game is these kids have pitched so much that you're going not with your number 1 guy, but your number 2 guy, and he's a little bit tired and fatigued, and he's showing signs of that early. So we may see an assortment of pitchers from the Curaçao side today.
Back-to-back walks. And that'll kill you in Little League baseball, just like any baseball, I should say.
Well, here's a look earlier. We're talking about the Little League World Series. He had a no-hitter through 5 2/3. Now, if you haven't watched much Little League, 6 innings is a complete game. He was absolutely dominant at the top of the strike zone in that game, able to throw strikes. The one off-speed pitch in the 6th inning with 2 outs, he gave up a double.
Aglipay, the number 3 hitter, and you can see sometimes that there will be a wider strike zone than you might be familiar with watching Major League Baseball, and the umpires will widen it out. Aglipay was taking all the way. Having a little bit too far outside. So we've got 2 runners on here for Hawaii in the bottom of the 1st inning. Nobody out. Baniaga. And remember, this team in its last 2 games has only 3 hits. But 2 of the 3 hits have been home runs. And in that one game that they won over Louisiana 2-0, Baniaga's home run, their only hit for the Hawaiians. And since I mentioned Louisiana, I can't stress enough how our thoughts and prayers are with those people down New Orleans way with the stories that have come out of there and that hurricane closing in. Of course, ABC News will cut in if anything should happen in the meantime. And at 6 o'clock, we'll be going right to the news, and they'll be giving you the very latest. This just dreadful possibility raised. But here we've got a Little League Baseball. We should point out that those youngsters from Lafayette, Louisiana, they really handled themselves well. Another one of the fine teams up there.
Well, they're a great representation of the type of people that are in Louisiana. We call them the Raging Cajuns, the comeback kids, and they continue to have great comebacks. And, you know, that spirit has got to be there right now. As we take a look at where Lafayette is located and down by Baton Rouge, that whole area is in trouble right now. And thoughts go out to them.
Looking at that map, I'm sure that they're evacuating down in there in that particular area. So as someone spends as much time in Florida as I do, I know the damage that can be done. And our thoughts and prayers are going out to all you folks right now. Let me tell you, 3-1 the count here. And now this is the 3rd full count for our starting pitcher, Sorik Liberia.
Now, if you're wondering, will they run, will they take off? In Little League Baseball, you can't steal until it crosses the batter. So more likely, you probably will not see a steal in this situation.
3 consecutive walks to start the game. Top of the hour at the Little League World Series Championship game here in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Hawaii, the home team, threatening big time here in the bottom of the 1st. 3 walks have loaded the bases against the defending champions from the island of Curaçao. And here comes Mr. Clutch, Shane Maniaga, known as Bubbles. And we were told by the coaches today he also has a bright future as a running back. You can just see with his build, man. He very good. They're being very patient. They're just making him throw strikes right now. And there you see Mom That sign's been very prominent over the last couple of weeks, and I think they're going to make a change right here. I think he cannot wait. And Naima Lawrence, the first baseman, will come in here. He'll inherit a bases-loaded situation with 1 ball and no strikes. When we come back, we'll see how these youngsters from Hawaii make out in the first inning. Their team from Hawaii with a big-time threat here at the bottom of the first inning. They had a 4-run explosion in the U.S. Championship game against California. They made the most out of only 1 hit. They had 2 errors, helped them, 3 walks, and a hit batsman. And the hit was by this young fella stepping in. Shane Baniaga will tee it up against Naima Lawrence.
Well, he's had 1 appearance here at Little League World Series, and it was he threw 1/3 of an inning and struck out the hitter he faced. So.
This pitch strike. Baniaga, 2 of the team's 3 hits in their previous 2 games. He has been Mr. Clutch. Up there right now with the bases loaded.
You see their hitters will stand way on top of the plate. One of the reasons they stand on top of the plate is they're trying to take away that pitch on the outside half. If you watch the catcher, he bounces way outside. He left that one over. He just missed his pitch.
See the third baseman and the first baseman both guarding the lines. Swung on and missed.
And that's a big strikeout. Right there again, it got in on him. It got in on him to end it. Now let's look at it from the pitch sequence. Fastball up. They made the pitching change. And then they came back. Fastball inside. Look at where he locates to get these strikes out. Everything in on his hands. And that was the big part of getting out of that.
Pitcher Michael Mamea swings and misses. So Naima Lawrence, the starting first baseman, moves over to pitch and starts throwing strikes right away. And what a difference it makes when you get the ball across the plate.
If you're able to get strike 1, now you expand that strike zone and you're able to really dominate the hitters.
Mamea's hit a pair of home runs in the Little League World Series, but he's been quiet in the last couple of games, and now he's behind at the count.
Well, the 3 through 7 in this lineup have done the most damage, and that damage has been 9 home runs amongst those youngsters, with Feo leading the way with 3 homers himself. He's on deck.
Foul ball. Wedged hit the baseball back there. Retrieved by Rafaela.
Here's what you're talking about right here. 373, 10, and 26 RBIs. That's pretty impressive there of those 3 youngsters in the middle of this order. It's 4 youngsters, I should say.
Popped up. Foul territory. The shortstop now is in fair territory. Makes the put out. So Profar over and down the line, and Curaçao 1 out away from wiggling free of a bases-loaded jam. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, and this is the youngster that they got to get, because if Hawaii's going to do anything, Brent, we feel, you and I both, we've talked about this, he's the best athlete on the club.
Here he is, Von Feo, another of these youngsters who loves to play football. Steps in with the bases loaded. Had ice on an elbow prior to the game because apparently he scraped it over the dormitory accidentally. Swung on and missed. And it was about an hour, I guess. One of our cameramen spotted him over there, and he told us that nothing serious, but he did bump it a little bit. So he's up now with no balls and 1 strike, and Curaçao trying to escape a jam here in the bottom of the first.
Well, Lawrence is doing some kind of job. Throwing strikes, got a strikeout and a pop-up. Good battle right here.
One ball and 2 strikes on Feo.
Boy, if he could pitch out of this.
What a lift it would give the defending champions.
1-2.
Pabao homered last night. 2-2.
Well, one thing that's really come back to Little League, Brent, is guys choking up on the bat. 2 strikes, choking up, trying to put the ball in play. Now, this is the biggest power hitter here at Little League World Series. You see him choking up.
Swung on and missed. And Naeem Lawrence inherits a bases-loaded situation with nobody out. Strikes out 2 and gets a 3rd out via a pop-up. What a relief performance in the bottom of the 1st. And we're scoreless. And our presentation of the Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. Second inning now, and we are scoreless. I wonder how that will influence the game. Here's Sorik Liberia. He was the starting pitcher, and Lawrence, who relieved him, will be the second hitter this inning. But just think of the lift the Curaçao youngsters were given with that escape act. Thrown across neatly by Enos. Oliviato for the first out.
Well, Little League Baseball, the pitcher's mound is 46 feet. And so it makes us think, well, what's it look like in comparison to Major League Baseball? Well, Major League Baseball, 60 feet 6 inches from the mound, 90 feet on the bases. In Little League, it is 60 feet on the bases and 46 feet from the mound. So 205 all the way around. So the home runs are a little bit easier if you can catch up to it.
Well, here comes Lawrence, the star of the bottom of the 1st inning. Big soccer fan. Likes to jog, play a little soccer himself. Real Madrid is his favorite soccer team, as he was shortening up to bunt. Now looks down to get a sign. It's a ball and a strike.
Very unique with the interest of these kids being in the area that they're in. You've got different languages, therefore you're exposed to different cultures. And soccer is huge over there.
Two balls and a strike. Harold, you go back to the graphic that Sam showed us at the top of the broadcast. I hope the NCAA wasn't looking at that. Okay.
Got that right.
That spells professional. That's
gifts already.
Just teasing. 2 and 1 out. One way to improve the quality of any young sport in a country.
Well, it's a middle-class community, too. I think a lot of times people are confused with the fact that when we start talking about the islands, you know, the impression a lot of people have is that it's not very wealthy. This is a pretty well-off community, and they take care of the kids.
Yeah, far more so, they said, than the Dominican Republic. Right. It's just a much higher standard of living in Curaçao. Swung on and missed. 2 out. And Sam, if they win 2 in a row, what are the gifts that they're going to receive?
We don't know what they'll receive. They already received stuff, though. This team, they were given Visa gift cards by sponsors, $75 for the players, $100 for the coaches for spending money. They went to the mall. They went shopping on Friday.
That's great. Our economy thanks them very much.
Yes.
2 out now. And Darren Seferino, the second baseman, he had to back out of the way.
You see him get right back in there.
Oh, he's a pepper pot.
Come on.
He's a beauty.
Let's go.
Here's another one of those. Here's another one of those great little guys. Tried to drop it down. You know, Harold, you think about baseball really in comparison with football and basketball, certainly. But you know, it is still a sport where a little guy can play at the top level.
Yes,
it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough in the NFL and the NBA. There are guys who do it, but it's not easy.
It eludes me now, but I know you'll finish the sentence for me. They even have a saying for that in Curaçao. It's, keep the ball round.
Keep it round. Keep everything's round.
Everything's round, and that means the ball is round. That's the slogan. And that means everybody is a threat. You know,
absolutely.
with the big guy, the little guy, whoever. And that's kind of their thing there.
Yep. going to change up bats here. That's okay.
So I'm not going to bunt now and swing.
Now this is my swing bat.
Yeah.
As long as it's not one of Sammy Sosa's batting practice bats, folks, it's okay by us. 2 balls and a strike here with 2 out. Oh, yeah, he was ripping with that
go.
Huh?
How about that? All right.
That was a ping.
He doesn't change bats here. We know he's swinging. He let it fly, though. That's a heck of a cut.
Hey, it's just, whoa. I'm ducking.
Watch how hard he swings here for little guys.
Replay.
I mean, let it fly. That's coming out of your shoes right there.
What a good follow through. 2-2 now.
Go.
Well, the swing on at 53 miles per hour. Couldn't get it across the plate.
I heard a scream over here. One of the parents. Must be mom watching.
And we've had a few fellas plunked in this World Series.
Oh.
You know, that strikes me that one of the differences here over the last decade, and I was thinking about this, more of these big, strong pitchers have been working the inside part of the plate. I have watched in Little League than I can remember in the past.
You're absolutely right. I think we're getting to a point now where it's been talked about. It's another good hit swing right there and fouling it off. But you see now they're trying to get that home plate back in the major leagues too, and even in the college ranks. I think you're getting a generation of kids who are used to pitching to the aluminum bat, and they're not afraid to get inside anymore. And it starts at this level right here at Little League.
Base hit. First hit of the game. And a good at bat for Seferino.
Wasn't that bat by that little guy? He didn't want bunt the whole time anyway.
He wanted that other bat in the base hit. 2 out, runner on first for Curaçao here. Rylan Arena stepping up with 2 out. Guevara, except strike 1.
Brent, it's interesting. Their offense caught fire the last couple games because of a little simple thing the coaches did. They went from batting practice off pitching machines to throwing to them, and now all of a sudden the kids start picking the ball up better again and start swinging the bat.
The center fielder is down in the count here. And the Caribbean champions come in with a 14-man roster, I believe it is. Remember, everybody has to play in this game. You've got to play 3 consecutive outs, and you've got to have an at bat. So very early in a game, the manager, Vernon Isabella, he thinks about making substitutions and pinch hitting because he's got to get some of these youngsters in. 12-man roster for the Hawaiian side. So the mandatory play rule, and that's another one of the charming aspects of making one of the all-star teams. You know, when you come here to the World Series, you're going to get a chance to play. Baniaga, 3 out. So we'll go to the bottom of the second, and if you're wondering about the youngsters who aren't playing, they're having a great time, folks. Mighty Casey looks down on a great scene, and you know, as a part of the support of baseball, the Little League Urban Initiative and the season's greatest players, Bank of America is presenting a check for $75,000 to the Little League Urban Initiative in honor of the Player of the Week program. And as the official bank of baseball, Bank of America has been celebrating baseball's higher standards by donating $1,000 each week to the Little League Urban Initiative in the name of Major League Baseball's Player of the Week, and we thank them for that. Well, some of the youngsters, one of the great things about this is the interaction amongst youngsters from around the globe. Now, there are players from Florida, Maitland, Florida, and some of the players from Japan are getting together. And
Well, and the big thing here, all the kids want to play out here in Lombardy Field. This is like the mecca for Little Leaguers. And Skip Kovar, as you see Howard J. Lombardy's bust out there in center field, he says, you know what, I'm going to, thanks, Howard. That was after the pregame ceremonies. And there's Skip Kovar, one of the kids. He had a home run here in a big game there. He's the one with his back to us. See the back of his head.
You know, I will never forget about 3 years ago when the Japanese team won the championship. At the end of the game, they all raced to center field, and that bust of Howard J. Lamade, who gave the field for this outstanding park, and they went sliding toward it, and they said they were bowing to the god of baseball. So it brings you good luck when you do that. And we see that we've got some changes in the outfield for Curaçao, Seferina, Carolina, and Arena. The all-new outfield alignment for Curaçao. Aguirre goes into first base, and Liberia, who was the starting pitcher and closed out that inning at first, he moves to second. Profar stays at short. And Verhinte is the third baseman. Lawrence, of course, on the mound with a count of a ball and a strike. We are scoreless. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Regulation for Little League is 6 innings. In case you weren't with us, these Hawaiian youngsters who are up right now loaded the bases with nobody out and couldn't score against the young man you're looking at right now, Naeem Lawrence from Curaçao.
1-2.
Starting pitcher, Quentin Guevara, the left-hander. Off the first baseman, ricochets into right field, and Guevara on base.
It's a tough ball right here. We've seen some funny cued balls off the end of the bats. And this is another one of those. Watch when it hits the grass. It's just off the, he swings, good looking swing, and it's going to hit the grass on you and just kick away and just eats up the first baseman.
Ty Turpak, the left fielder and son of one of the coaches who gave the Little League oath for the Hawaiian youngsters. He'll step in, and Guevara given a base hit. So the first hit for the Hawaiians in this game gets away from the catcher, and Guevara takes second base. And once again, Hawaii threatens early.
And they will like to bunt now in this situation. He's probably going to bunt that ball down third base and make the third baseman field it. But there's no force play involved right now, so he can bunt it anywhere he wants.
Shortening up, pops it foul. Verhinte was covering the line, and Garria, who remember has just gone in to play first base, was coming down the first base line. So there's Verhinte. Now they will bunt with 2 strikes. Let's see if they do here. They do not.
They thought they were going to be bunting too, because they had their defense set up, because the kids from Curaçao are used to bunting. Now the second baseman is right here. He's drifting over. He's got the whole right side. His responsibility is going to be to cover first. And so they're still anticipating it. Why do they think that? Because they bunt with 2 strikes all the time.
2-2.
One out. That is the 3rd strikeout for Lawrence since coming on to pitch.
There's that good fastball right by him.
Here's Zachary Rossetti. Base hits have been very hard to come by for the youngsters from Hawaii, who were just tearing it up when the World Series started. Known as Hawaii 5-0, put 8 home runs quickly on the board in the World Series. They have hit a couple of big ones in their last 2 games, but they just have not been able, Harold, to put together hits.
Yeah, they've really struggled. The offense just disappeared. Now they said, hey, we face good pitching, but this team should be swinging about a little bit better, because they really are pretty good hitters.
That'll do it. Will they send him in? Yes. The throw home, cut off, throw to second, out at second base.
but Hawaii scores. Guevara comes in on Rossetti's single to left field, and Rossetti is out at second base. I thought it was going to be close at the plate, Harold. What'd you think?
Well, I thought it might be close, but the throw did take him up the line, and this is good coaching. As soon as he has to adjust, if you're the cutoff guy, you're standing in line with the plate. Now, once the ball moves you off the plate, you got to cut it. See him moves towards the inside. That's going to be up the line a little bit, and he makes a wise decision and gets the runner at second. He actually ends up killing a rally.
I don't think Rafaela was happy, though.
Well, he was not happy at all.
He wanted that ball to come through. He had a shot. And here's Alviado. But again, Harold says, as he's pulled off that line, see, let it come. Don't cut it off. Rafaela said, I had a shot at that.
We understood that in every language.
This one drifting toward the stands, and the left fielder can't hang on, but he made a great effort down there, didn't he?
Tremendous effort.
Seferina going to the wall. Take a look at this.
And watch how he turns his body. He almost had it. It was in the glove, and the wall caused him to drop it. This is a tremendous play. Got there, and the wall just knocked the ball out of him.
2 out and nobody on. But Hawaii breaks through first here in the bottom of the second inning. So they finally put 2 hits together in 1 inning. And that's the first time in 3 games for the Hawaiians that they've been able to do that.
Yes. Here you go, Kyle. Here you go.
Liviato ready at the plate. Leadoff hitter down to the top of the order. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a big play to throw him out at second, though.
Yes, it was. Profar drifts back and gives it to the left fielder for the 3rd out. Seferina, who almost made a sensational catch, comes in and ends the inning, but not before Hawaii puts the first run on the board, and the youngsters from Oahu lead it. Dugout entertaining one and all here. The Little League World Series with the Hawaiians up by 1. A reminder now, Monday Night Football tomorrow night. The Detroit Lions are hosting the St. Louis Rams in a preseason game. And all you fantasy players, tune in and watch the Lions. Which one of those wide receivers do you want? Roy Williams, Charles Rogers, or Mike Williams? If Rogers stays healthy, folks, he's going to have a great year. Sam, tell me, what did Radio Row sound like going back to Curaçao when they wiggled free in the first inning?
I can't understand it, Brent. I'll let you know how big this is, though, in Curaçao. This is like the Super Bowl of Curaçao. We have 4 different radio stations, all broadcasting this game in Papamiento. That is their native language. This is Gonzalo Cueles right now. You're all doing this in Papamiento. Tell me, what is Papamiento?
Well, basically, Papamiento is the official language of Curaçao. We have another official language, which is Dutch. Most of us are pretty fluent in English and Spanish. Papiamento came out of Creole language, as we call it in the Caribbean, but it's unlike many of the other Creole languages in the area, which are languages that weren't allowed to be spoken in official situations. Papiamento definitely is our language, and we're very proud of it.
And I learned thank you is donkey, right?
Donkey, and to express it, to emphasize it, you would say Masha Donkey.
Masha Donkey, Brent.
All right, and now let's check in on what that out sounded like in Papamiento in the first inning.
Derecho, Tacla, Naim presentando. Su lanzamiento. Swing! Perdí! Tremendo cero di Curaçao! Tremendo cero!
That was great. Papamiento, I don't know much about that, but donkey, folks, that comes from Dutch. I do know that much. Dunkashane is a German deal. They stole from everybody to make that language. They made that language up down there, Harold.
Yes, they did. Oh, man.
Well, here they come. Rafaela, their catcher, and again, one of the 4 players who was here a year ago when they beat Thousand Oaks, California, leading it off in the 3rd inning. Oh. This is his first at bat. Profar, who scored the game's only run, gets him to foul one off. How relieved, Harold, how relieved are the Hawaiian youngsters after loading the bases, nobody don't score. You know, they had to be, oh my goodness, we let it get away from it. But then they come back and they get a run. That was so big for their morale.
Major difference, yeah. And to be able to come back and know that, now all of a sudden you carry that over even more so, because they're getting ready to head back to the top of their order. You know, Brent, I was thinking too, you look at the kids from Curaçao, you were talking earlier, they have 14 on their roster, and Hawaii has 12. And with the mandatory play rule, most of the teams in the international bracket bring the extra kids to the limit of 14. Whoa.
Left field, Turpak makes that number 1.
And so it's an advantage to the clubs that don't have to get as many kids in the ball game, but also the international teams give so many other kids an experience that they may not otherwise get. That's 2 extra youngsters for every team that gets to come here and experience this, and that's kind of how they look at it.
Frente steps up to the plate now with 1 out here, top of the 3rd. Curaçao no runs on 1 hit. Drops down a beautiful bunt. Guevara into field. Can he throw him out? Down the line. But he'll have to hold. The right fielder alertly backs up the play. Rossetti was over there and saved the hitter from advancing to second base. So that was an alert play, and it looks like Verhine might have been shaken up over there. They can use a pinch runner for him.
Well, he tried to slide into first base, Brent. We're going to a little teaching mode here with that. Slide into first base. You always want to try to run through the bag, particularly at this age. Now, the bases are rip-away bases, and as you slide, you will rip the bases away. And so, as you continue to run through the bag, obviously it's just hitting the bases whichever foot you want. But here's the rip-away bases. These bases, when they slide, you'll see them slide late. That's going to rip away. Now here's the injury. As he tries to slide into first base, you'll see a lot of big leaguers go head first. But anytime you go foot first, you have a tendency to get caught on the base like he did right there. It didn't rip away, and his foot got caught. But I would never recommend to do this at first.
We should point out, you cannot slide head first any longer in Little League Baseball. And Gurria came off the bench. He will be the hitter. This will be his at bat. Christopher Gurria. The plate, Brando, the pinch runner. That was overlooked in all of that. That was a beautiful bunt by the guy.
Yes, it was.
Dropped it down. He camouflaged it until the end. And that's as good a bunt as I've seen here at the World Series.
Yeah, you usually see the hitter square around and bunt early instead of, like you said, he camouflage it, he wait till the last second, and that was a big league bunt.
Yes, it will.
Another one. Well, here's the previous at bat. Watch how late. This is bunting for a base hit. Perfect fundamental. Take the back foot, drop it, get the bat down, take off. Now, the timing of that, as soon as the pitcher gets to the release point, then you start your movement.
Gets away from the catcher, and Brando moves into second. The other thing we've noticed about Curaçao both these years, Harold, there's tremendous team speed here. You make a mistake, and they're going to grab a base on you. If you were scouting basketball players, you would say these youngsters are long. They tend to be angular. They're very quick, and they know what they're doing, folks. They've done a great job of coaching down in that Caribbean island.
Yes, and they start scouting them early. And you hate to use the word scouting when you're talking about 11 and 12 years old, but a trend that's taken off here in the U.S. is they have drafts, and they draft kids and trade them and all these crazy things they do in Little League. But the other thing that they do down there is they start playing their games and their practices in January, and their coach has been here a few times, so he starts looking at, well, who might be a potential all-star that I could bring as we start to get those all-star squads together in July.
So Gurria, having made the innings, second out, and now Carolina off the bench, and this will be his at bat in the game. With 2 out, tying run on at second base.
Well, here's a look at him last night. Now watch him walk up on this and get a base hit to left field. You're going to throw something off speed to me, I'll go Ichiro on you.
And I'll eat you up. And he draws a walk. So we've got 2 on and 2 out, and Sam, the injury's not serious, I take it.
Doesn't appear to be serious at this time. Trainer Mike Ledwikowski is working on Jurick right now. He's actually taping. I heard him say, hey, he twisted his foot. We're going to tape it up. That's what he appears to be doing at this moment. If there's a further update, I will update you.
Well, here is Jurickson Profar, the number 3 hitter. 2 on and 2 out. Hit the big home run against Thousand Oaks, California a year ago in the championship game. Behind in the count here early. He grounded out to the second baseman. That was in the first inning.
He is a clutch player. He's the guy they like to go to.
Yeah, I guess, Harold, if they could choose any player to bat in this situation, here he is. Jurickson Profar. Notice how tightly he grips that bat. I mean, he's getting down there at the end of the handle.
2 on.
Big hands.
Strong kid, 5'8".
Line drive. Game is tied. Profar. They'll try to go ahead. No. He would not have made it. Now they've got him hung up. Now they've got Profar hung up between second and third. Now they'll try to score, and safe at the plate. Guevara thinks he got him. This is going to provoke an argument. It's 2-1 as the Hawaiians blow the rundown. Wow. Guevara thought for sure that he'd made the tag.
Well, the kids are not allowed to argue with the umps, and that's why the coach is going to come out, calm down. He'll be the one that does the arguing if there is going to be any.
Now the plate umpire has gone down to talk to the right field umpire.
Hey, let's go. It's 2 outs. Okay, Quentin, let's go. Hey, no problem, no problem. Hey,
let's take a look at this in
let's get this guy.
In replay.
Well, the tough thing, you know they're going to be aggressive. The ball gets by him now. Curaçao puts it on him. Here's where things go crazy. You come up with the strong throw to the plate, and when you run him down, you got 2 guys there. Nice read. Now right here, if he were to stop it, he could run it right at him. But here comes the throw to the plate. He really didn't have anywhere to go.
Now Carolina gets in and slides. I guess the only difficult thing was the angle that the umpire did not have. He doesn't. Let's take a look at this from this angle. Well, you can't tell from that
because the umpire was anticipating the throw to the plate. So it looked like it got him on the back right foot.
That's what I thought in that one. And as a result, Curaçao now leads it 3-1. It looked to me on that final replay, although nothing's going to be changed, like they may have nicked the right foot coming through. Guevara's reaction immediately was that he applied the tag. But regardless, it doesn't matter now. It's 3-1, and Profar's hit turned the game around.
Well, and that woke them up because they have all of a sudden caught fire. Kids from Curaçao, and that speed will ignite you. It excites you. Here's a look again. Now right here, what happens is, watch the pitcher Guerrero. He's going to come in and cut the ball off. You see, Abelito. But there's the tag you're talking about.
No question. No question. And the problem was, from an umpiring standpoint, he did not have the angle for that kind of a tag. I don't fault him from where he was. And again, these guys are volunteers and pay their own way here, and enough said by me. It's an angle situation, and that you have to get up that line a little bit. Foul ball off the hitter here, Naeem Lawrence, and now the Hawaiian youngsters will have to battle back. They trail at 3-1. We're in the top of the third inning. They've got the heart of their order coming up in their next at bat, and they need a couple now to tie it. Enos up with it, strong throw, no. And that was close.
Hey, that speed just puts so much, changes the game. Here he is hustling down the line, and this is a nice play by the shortstop, and he got the call right, I think. And if anytime, I always view it this way: if you have to slow it down to see what the umpire called, then it's not fair. At that speed right there, he beat it out. Man, they're putting pressure on him.
2 on and 2 out.
This is the biggest pinch hitter of the team right here.
Harold, let me go back to the rundown.
Okay.
When they get Profar hung up between second and third, and you're a major leaguer in that situation, do you ignore the man on third at that moment and say, we can get this man right now before the runner scores?
When you got 2 guys, you take them both back to the base, and then you tag both the runners, and then the runner at third, that is his base. The runner going to second cannot occupy that base. The lead runner would have rights to that base.
No, I understand that. But if you were a middle infielder and you had Profar and the ball
right
where he was, would you have said, I'm going to gamble that they can't score before I chase Profar down?
I would have tried to run Profar to third, and if the runner took off the home, I'd have done probably what they did.
Okay.
They executed that very nice. They made the right decisions.
Okay. The decisions were fine.
The decisions were very good.
And actually, in effect, they just was an unfortunate break.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
You know, the rub of the green, I guess they say in another sport. Huh? A ball and 2 strikes here with 2 out.
And Rodriguez has been their main pinch hitter. He comes off the bench. Those 2 hits have been big key hits that he has had.
2-2 and 2 out. Alexander Rodriguez, the pinch hitter, standing in with Curaçao now leading Hawaii 3-1 here in the 3rd inning. Paniaga, side out. Hawaii now must score a couple of runs to tie this game as they have fallen behind 3-1 in the top of the 3rd. And here is the moment. Did he get that leg? It certainly looked like he did. Well, the call makes one team very happy. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Curaçao leading Hawaii 3-1 as we come to the bottom of the 3rd, and the Goodyear blimp still soaring ahead with these beautiful pictures here of this tremendous Little League complex in South Williamsport. And we remind you to travel with peace of mind on Goodyear's new Assurance tires. And as we approach the holiday weekend, a reminder to drive safely on those Goodyear tires, everybody. Let's talk about back-to-back champions, because that's what Curaçao is trying to do. Now, keep in mind, this is from the same Little League, and we will look at this as our Bank of America higher standard. Now, Long Beach, California, that's a little asterisk because they won one of them by forfeit over that team from the Philippines who came in here and used some ineligible players. Actually, the last same league to win back-to-back championships, mid-'80s, Seoul, South Korea. And those teams that got back, they all won. And again, like I'm saying, there's an asterisk because Long Beach won by a forfeit long after the game was played.
Okay, let's go.
So it's the bottom of the 3rd inning now, and here is Isabella trying to do exactly that. Foul ball up over her head and out of play. Enos, Aglape, Baniaga coming up here, and Liviato now has to rally the troops here, Harold. They got to get something going.
This is where they get to that part of the order where they need to get it going. But these are the guys that hit for them, and they've relied on them all year long.
Little League baseball, I guess maybe all baseball, a game of opportunity and moments. Let's go back to that first inning. Hawaii loads the bases and nobody out. Here comes the youngster, Lawrence, who started at first base. 2 strikeouts and a pop out to get out of that jam. Hawaii doesn't score. Then they fall back by 1. They put 2 on their best hitter, Profar, and then they get into a rundown and they escape and come away with 3 runs. They take advantage of a break, make the most of it, and that's the kind of team Curaçao has brought here the last couple of years.
They scrap and fight with you, and they keep the pressure on you. And if you put pressure on a team at this level, you're going to cause mistakes.
Enos would love to coax a leadoff walk if he can. Better than that. Go! Look at that smile. The heck with that leadoff walk. Let's make it 3-2 right now. And what a lift for the Hawaiians.
Oh, that was exciting. Well, you could see that Lawrence was starting to slow down a little bit. He wasn't locating, and he gets a fastball right here and cranks it to dead center. That's a beautiful swing. He knew it was a no-doubter.
That's his first home run of the Little League World Series, and here's another team that makes the most of its moments as the Hawaiians suddenly make it 3-2, and here comes Aglipe. He's one of their big guns. Winning pitcher yesterday, playing third today. He tried to tie it up in one swing, wasn't he, folks?
That's right. And Brett, that was their 11th home run for these kids from Hawaii. Now the record is 15. So they have had a remarkable Little League World Series.
Bottom of the third, down just 1 run, 3-2. We're going lipping that time.
But he reached back for a little extra that time. Got the ball up on him.
Lawrence is ready. Deep to left field. We're tied. Back-to-back home runs for the Hawaiians.
Hey, baby. Let's go.
What a championship game we've got for ourselves here. Look at what we found.
Well, here's a changeup. He got it out over the plate and just drove it into left field. And you think that's not exciting to see a home run when it counts. Get out of here, ball. Get out.
So that was his 3rd home run, and that ties him with Pabao for the Little League World Series lead at 3. And here's Maniaga. He was trying to quickly put it ahead.
Back to back to back. Well, here's a 3. The home run leaders right there. Hawaii with 12. Pennsylvania had 7. The middle of this order, they can all hurt you.
He was proud to play, too.
Well, you can see the speed on the radar gun. He's down to 61 miles an hour on his fastball. Now, when he came in that big inning you talked about with the bases loaded, he was popping that glove about 68, 67.
Yeah, it looks like Baniaga has really taken control of that plate, and I think the word was relayed in the dugout. He's losing it. He's losing it.
Yeah.
Baniaga, he was the first strikeout victim with the bases loaded back in the first inning. The kids are great, aren't they?
Oh, man, they have fun even in adverse situations. They seem to smile.
Base hit. Baniaga drops one in front of the left fielder who was playing him very deep. That was Rodriguez out left. Now, Penn, that Hawaiian crowd, they've got to be really excited right now.
Yeah, take a look at these guys, Brent. They look like one big happy family. There's a reason for this. Actually, 30 of them are sharing an 8-bedroom house here in Williamsport. It's an 8-bedroom house with only 4 bathrooms. So 30 people, 4 bathrooms. no way you're not going to bomb, and you can see they're all up and cheering now, Brent.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, Ken, Curaçao has decided to go to a third pitcher. Hey, Earl, the big kahuna is here. Oh, I can just imagine how excited how everybody is. Christopher Gurria coming on to pitch here. Look at the reaction.
There's Eno's dad. Give him a job. He needs a job when he gets back home.
We'll be right back. So Christopher Gurria is the third pitcher for Curaçao to be used in this game. And he's now looking at a pinch hitter. Ethan Javier will step in for the Hawaiians, who had tied it in this bottom of the third inning in dramatic fashion. Remember that Little League Baseball regulation 6 innings. We are in the bottom of the third inning. Curaçao, the international champions, and Hawaii, the champions of the United States, are tied at 3. Curaçao trying to win back-to-back championships, and for Hawaii, if they can win it, it would be their first ever World Series title. Pearl City advanced to the finals once, but they did not win the championship. So Gurria, the new pitcher here. The Hawaiians with back-to-back home runs. Enos and Aglape, 2 out now, and the strike is thrown. And there is Gurria.
Well, he's had a couple of outings here. One, he got really hit hard against Japan. He gave up 4 home runs in that ball game, 6 hits, 6 earnings, had 9 strikeouts. So he's got enough power to strike you out. But he came back with a better outing. And you see he's got good stuff again. His second outing, 4 2/3, only 2 hits. So we got a ball game, Brent.
Yeah, back-to-back home runs, Harold. Deadlocked at 3 halfway there. We're deadlocked at 3 as we move to the 4th inning here at the Little League World Series Championship game. Mighty Casey. Watching the crowd. What a thrilling game. A reminder that on Thursday, September 8th at 8 Eastern, the NFL opening kickoff will be followed at 9 Eastern by the Raiders and the Patriots. It's that time of year, folks. Thursday night, the opening of the regular season. The NFL.
Well, Brent, as we go to the pitching regulations now, you're going to see Keeney Enos on the mound. If a player pitches less than 4 innings in a game, they must rest 1 day. Now, you skip on down. He pitched 2 days, pitched 4 innings, so he had to have 2 days rest. He pitched 5 innings his last outing, so that was on Thursday. So he's had a couple days. He's eligible to come back and pitch right now.
Fayal moved over to second base, and he's with that assist. And Maniaga, who had been at second base, he moves to shortstop. And you can see the numbers here. Keeney Enos, that's the name he prefers to go by.
A lot of the youngsters like their Hawaiian given name, which I can't pronounce.
But we can handle Keeney.
Yeah, we can handle that one.
1 out. He's throwing hard.
See, he is.
Rafaela, he's the catcher. Down at the bottom of the order. Cruz, pinch hitter, grounded out. Second to first for the first out. So again, everybody in that dugout, 3 consecutive outs and at least 1 at bat. So if they make it to Williamsport, they can always say they played in the Little League World Series. Rafaela,
he laid down, kind of rolled his eyes like, how did I get out of the way in that one? Watch this on this pitch right here. Then he's going to lay down. Oh, my goodness.
3-1 with 1 out. And Enos falls behind here in the count.
Right now, he's got to control the adrenaline because you get so excited.
He's on.
He's overthrowing right now, and that may be the best thing that happens. He walks somebody and get a chance to get back in it. But nice at bat.
So there, again, is what we referred to a year ago. Curaçao winning the championship, beating Thousand Oaks, California. They've been here 6 times. Hawaii's made it 9 times. That was the Pearl City Little League. I believe this league eliminated Pearl City this year. And Hilo, I can't apologize to Pearl City if that's not accurate. I know that the state championship in Hawaii was played in Hilo over in the Big Island. They move it around the Hawaiian Islands. A few years back it was in Maui. And Aglepe, he's gone all the way at third, and look at him charging.
Way in, both of them, and Liviato and Aglepe. Now this club from Curaçao, they will bunt. Now we've seen what happens when the middle of that order gets to swing the bats, and the other guys get on.
Yeah, they're just trying to get somebody on for the Profars and the Liberias. Foul, and we are at the bottom of their lineup.
Just find it real interesting when they have bunt situations how much they overplay in the infield. They almost automatically say, it's bunt, we're moving. Now 1 and 2 count, probably not thinking bunt here.
And wasn't. So there is the second out of the inning. So with 2 out, the pitcher, Christopher Garria, moves into the batter's box. Rafaela, the base runner at first here for Curaçao. Tried to check his swing, fouled it off.
And that goes back to what you're talking about, Brent, how much they're pitching inside now. The thing that amazes me as we go back and talk about them pitching inside, the pitchers here at the Little League World Series pounding inside. There's been a few kids get hit, but not many. The accuracy is absolutely incredible how they've been pitching inside and not many hit batsmen.
And it is 0-2 in the top of the 4th. Curaçao, 3 runs on 4 hits. They haven't committed any errors. Hawaii, 3 runs on 5 hits, and they have committed 2 errors. And that certainly helped Curaçao score its 3 runs. And a delayed steal. Rafael is going to take second.
Nice job.
Surprised that Mamiya didn't throw down on him.
Well, they didn't have anybody covering. Now you've moved Maniago to short and Fayao to second, and both those guys play different positions. Maniago's usually at second, and Fayao's usually at third base, so neither one of them covered on the steal.
2-2 with 2 out.
See, it happens so quick in Little League Baseball. You cannot run until the ball crosses the batter. So it's almost like a delayed steal. Now watch, when the ball crosses the hitter, he takes off, and nobody covers.
You didn't think Boniak called strike 3. So out without scoring, Curaçao, and we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Look at that smile. Deep to left field. Back-to-back home runs for the Hawaiians. And that highlights our KFC game summary. Profar's big RBI single for the defending champions, and he will be the second hitter in the top of the 5th inning. We are in the bottom of the 4th right now, deadlocked at 3.
Boy, and not to be forgotten the job Naeem Lawrence did when he came into the game with that bases loaded situation.
Good luck if you're the official score, folks. You know, Harold, he does all the scorekeeping for me. Listen to this. We've had 5 first basemen, 3 second basemen, 1 shortstop, 2 third basemen, 3 only 1 catcher. We've had 4 left fielders, 2 center fielders, and 3 out in right field.
You got to show the people at home. This is what I try to keep the score on.
Put that right there.
That's all the changes in Little League Baseball.
Hold that up there, Harold.
That's all the changes. Okay. Who is this? What did you want to eat again, Brent?
Yes, it is.
I can't get your order right here. What was that again?
Well, we come down to the bottom of the 4th. This has been a dandy, folks. This has really been the kind of Little League championship you want. Zachary ran it. This will be his at bat for the Hawaiians, who, after getting a tough break in the top of the 3rd, slammed back-to-back home runs to tie it at 3. And who knows? Maybe they are a team of destiny after all. 1 ball and 1 strike. Correa, the 3rd Curaçao pitcher, checked his swing. Call strike. wear their families on the sleeves. We've got great friends. We got relatives over there. We got nieces, uncles, cousins. I'll tell you. Eva Beach, close to Honolulu and the Honolulu airport. A lot of these youngsters, we were told by the manager, they'll go right to football practice, but first they got to go to class when they get back home. And one out as Rannick goes down swinging.
That's one of the motivations when the 16 teams get here to Williamsport. Stay as long as you can. You stay away from school.
Isn't that the truth? Harrison Cam. Boy, is a substitute center fielder for the Hawaiians a couple games back. He made a dandy catch in center field. Laid out for one. I think Harold referred to it earlier in the broadcast, but the overall defense this year at the World Series has just been spectacular. How many double plays did you say on the ground?
23 double plays in just the 31 games played.
Bunt, but right back at the pitcher, and rifles it over there for the second out.
Just like this play right here, Brent. I mean, bunt back to the pitcher and watch him barehand this ball and throw it over to first base. You were talking earlier how long and lanky these kids are. The hands are big too. You don't see this in Little League baseball very often. That ball was bunted. It's rolling hard at him. He barehands it, no problem. Grips it. He barehanded with 2 fingers. Had the ball in the perfect grip and threw it to first.
Aliviano. So we're at the top of the lineup here for the Hawaiians at the bottom of the 4th inning. And again, the Jurickson Profar, the big man for Curaçao. He'll be the second batter due up in the top of the 5th. And we're coming right down to it. Little League games, regulation 6 innings. World Series championship at stake here. Hawaii, the champs of the U.S., having beaten all comers. They have been on some roll. Won the Northwest Regional, got through Washington, Oregon, Montana, Idaho. Beat Idaho in the final game out of that regional. They play the Northwest Regional, the same place where they play the Pacific, where the California youngsters won. The old days, that used to be one region. And when they went to 16 teams, they split those states up into 2. And the Hawaiians came out of the Northwest unbeaten.
Yeah, and that was a good decision on Little League. You have such an advantage being in California, playing year-round outdoors. A lot of these kids do. And when you threw everybody in that region, the California teams were always coming out. So you didn't have a chance for a team from Oregon or Washington or Hawaii right now is coming out of that.
And right now there are 2 teams from California that qualify, a Northern California champ and a Southern, and tough going for Nevada and Arizona that are matched against the Californians in that region. Line drive, base hit. Left fielder bobbles it, but they tell him to hold, and he does with 2 out. Aliviano singles to left.
This kid's got some kind of baseball instincts, and we talked about his swing earlier. This is a nice stroke, but I really like the end of this play when he's running the bases. As he comes around the bases on this, he sees the bobble. The coach sees it, tells him to go. He reads it and goes back.
Yeah. I was proud. And here comes Enos. He homered last time up. And then Aglepe followed it with the second home run to tie the game. Enos has been on base twice and walked. He was left stranded when the name Lawrence worked his way out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the 1st inning. This will do it. Forced at second base. Separino to Profar, and remember the big fella, the guy who homered last year against Thousand Oaks. Profar will be the second man up for Curaçao. What a great scene, folks, and you can't beat fun at the old ballpark. South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, Curaçao, the defending champion.
And Brent, those are their parents. They are saying, we are from Curaçao. We came here to play great baseball in Papamiento.
Well, that language, it's a mixture of everything. We were talking about that earlier. That's tough to speak.
Well, here we've come right down to it. Top of the 5th inning now. And here's Rachelon Carolina, the center fielder, and he'll be followed by the big fella if the scorecard is accurate up here. He walked the last time up, and he'll be looking for another one here. 1 ball. Enos on the mound, and you know he'll be taken all the way here.
He makes you have to throw a strike to him too. He's small in stature.
So the land of Andrew Jones trying to win back-to-back championships. We asked the manager and the coaches why Andrew didn't seem to be quite as close to this Little League team as we might have expected. Well, he was from a different Little League down in Curaçao. Not the dominant one like these kids have become. But Andrew, of course, sent it along his congratulations to the team, which we showed at the top of the broadcast. And I'm sure he's very proud of his youngsters from his country. 3-2.
That was pretty funny, though.
It was.
That they're split.
Well, you remember last year when they introduced themselves? Only about 2 or 3 of them said Andrew Jones was their favorite player, and I couldn't quite, understand.
This year he's leading the majors in homers, so he's our favorite again.
Oh, man.
National League, I should say. Oh my goodness.
Did you see? I talked about Jason Marquis, who pitched to Staten Island and now with the Cardinals. Well, as we were doing that game yesterday, emergency starter, and all he does is pitch a shutout for Tony La Russa. Here's a high pop-up. And Enos. And you know, we're talking about the Major League fellas. Last year, it was the Red Sox beating Marquis and the Cardinals. And pay attention to that catcher, folks. There it is. The Red Sox World Championship trophy is here. So, boy, did the youngsters circle around that trophy. All of them had their pictures taken. And that's the one that the Red Sox were presented with for winning the World Series. Beautiful save. Can he throw Profar out? No.
Talk about the tremendous defense that's going on in this Little League World Series. Incredible play right here. I mean, this is amazing. If he could have got this out of his glove, he might have had a play. Look at this right here across the diamond, and that just shows you the speed of Profar. He gets down. Is he some kind of athlete, Brent?
No, he is, man. Liberia coming up now, 1 out, and deep to left field, and Curaçao leads it as Liberia finds Little League Hill. The big 2. Make it 5-3 in the top of the 5th. And that was shades of Andrew Jones right there.
Woo. That was a long shot. And it came out of nowhere. Here's a fastball up in his eyes, and he just jumped on it. Now watch him. You think he knew it was gone? It's just a matter of being fair. Was it going to be fair or foul? It made it fair easy. Now those hedges where that green fence is at is 235. The fence on the diamond is 205. So that's a pretty good poke for a Little Leaguer.
Pabao will be the new pitcher when you come back. Well, the Hawaiian youngsters have been behind once before in this game and tied it. Now they'll have to do it again. And when you come back, we'll find out how they make out. Bonfeo on the mound. Curaçao leading at 5-3. Top of the 5th inning. 1 out. Liberia's home run. And we go back to a year ago. Experience has made the difference in this championship.
Huge difference. You know, you got 4 kids that were here last year. And you saw the big home run come from Sormic Liberia. And Jurickson Profar and the offense also. They've been the big key. 2 for 3 for both those kids with 3 RBIs and 1 RBI. Now you got Goria pitching. And behind the plate, you've got Rafaela.
Now, the unsung hero against Bonfeo is at the plate right now. Remember, Naeem Lawrence inherited a bases-loaded, nobody-out situation at the bottom of the very first inning. 2 strikeouts and a pop-up later, and Curaçao escaped without giving up a run. How big does that seem right now? 5-3, bottom of the 5th.
That right. 99 from a Major League mound, 76 Little League. Now he can run it up there. Remember, they're reacting from 46 feet.
Enos moves back to short and throws him out. Now let's go back to Liberia's towering home run here, which put them ahead.
Well, he's one of the 4 kids that are back here back-to-back years. And you got 4 kids now. On the left, you got Profar. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. In the middle, you got Liberia with the home run. He's 2 for 3. And the other 2 kids are the battery, the pitcher and the catcher. So as we head now into the late innings here, they are making their presence known.
6 outs away from a repeat championship for the island of Curaçao. Deep to right center. Gone. How about that? Darren Ceferini, the second baseman, smacks one.
Incredible. You catch up to that hard fastball, and you got a chance.
A 3-run 5th inning puts Curaçao ahead 6-3.
Here's a fastball. We were talking about how hard Payal's throwing. It was a no-doubter. Watch him break into his trot the minute he hit it.
It's unbelievable. Watch it, that little guy hit that hard. Going for the down that time was Sherman LaCruz. So Hawaii trailing it by 3. And when we look at the Curaçao roster and consider next year, 7 of these youngsters are back next year. Now the big 4, they'll be all gone, but there are 7 others who will be back. And Payal still shaking his head at that home run. But Curaçao puts 3 on the board. Well, Hawaii's come back once. Can they do it again? We'll find out. And the World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Curaçao leads Hawaii 6-3 as we come to the bottom of the 5th, and now it's time for today's Kellogg's Frosted Flakes building blocks. And here's my colleague, Harold Reynolds.
One of the things they love to do here at Williamsport is they like to go and play catch with guys on other teams. So let's sneak up and watch a little bit of them playing catch. Now, there are some fundamental things that happen. As you see, Andrew on the left is a left-hander, and on the right is Zach, the right-hander. And what they do, the key is to keep the ball above the waist. As you see, pretty good throws. You want to throw the ball so that it's going to hit you either in the chest or right around the head area, and then you can handle the ball pretty easy. These guys are pretty good. Well, no wonder. They're at the Little League World Series.
Exactly. And we've come to the bottom of the 5th inning here at the championship game. The heart of the lineup is up for the Hawaiians. Aglape, Baniaga, and Mamiya. Trailing it by 3, 6-3. And on the mound is Christopher Gurria. Checking to see that his outfield is set.
He's got everybody shifted to the right side, and that means they're going to throw every pitch right out here. That's where they're going to live, on the outside half.
You see the catcher set up, as Harold explained that, on the outside. Just see if they can fry that corner.
That's where they're going to live, right there. And now you'll see the Hawaii batters move in and crowd the plate. A little cat and mouse going on.
Aglape, the winning pitcher against California, plays third when he's not pitching.
Big home run at the time to come back.
So Curaçao with 6 runs, 7 hits, and I think most importantly, they have not committed an error in this championship game. The Hawaiians, 3 runs, 6 hits, but they have made 2 errors. Got the corner. That wide strike zone. Well, for 80 years, one of America's most recognizable images, that Goodyear blimp, has floated overhead, providing these beautiful aerial views and reminding you to travel with peace of mind on Goodyear. And we thank those fellows for their coverage up there today. 1 out after the strikeout. And here comes Baniaga, singled in his last at bat.
Just the experience now that what Garcia has on the mound. Coming back here another year, you can just see the difference as it's starting to take off. The 4 youngsters we talked about.
Catch it, Rafaela, and they collide, but the put out is made by the first baseman, Liberia. The hitting hero hangs on after he collides with Rafaela.
Here it is again. Now, anytime you're playing in the stadium, that ball's going to curl back towards the infield. And if you're the catcher, you always want to try to let the other guy catch it because he has that glove. But you got 2 aggressive people, and they're just glad we caught it. Plant it that way.
It was great coordination by Liberia with his foot to step over and make sure he didn't whack his catcher right in the puss. 2 out now. And Mamiya, the Hawaiian catcher, is in there. This is a huge inning for Curaçao. The heart of this Hawaiian lineup, 3, 4, and 5. If they can get through and get to the 6th inning with a 3-1 lead, it is big. This has been a terrific game. Hawaii led it by a run. Curaçao scored 3 in the top of the 3rd. Hawaii tied it on back-to-back home runs. Then Curaçao scored 3 in the top of the 5th, and now they're trying to close out and win back-to-back championships.
You can see that they're just starting to get it going, man. Excitement. He's overpowering the hitters right now. He's got that adrenaline rush.
1, 2, 3. And Curaçao is 3 outs away from back-to-back. We'll be back with the 6th inning. 6th inning, and it's 6-3 Curaçao over Hawaii as we come to the top of the 6th inning. And as we approach the end here, and you look back, no matter what happens in the outcome of this game, the players from Hawaii, Curaçao, and all the other teams, it has been a sensational World Series, and a look of determination by the young man who will be playing football soon.
To see that.
Back in Oahu. What did coach describe him as? A headhunter, a good linebacker?
He's a linebacker. Look at that look. You think you're taking snap over quarterback, over center. You think you look at those eyes. Oh no, check. It's been a delight having this Hawaiian team at the Little League World Series, and you know, they're always disappointed if they can't come back. But the one thing I've noticed with the teams and the players, man, they bounce right back about 30 minutes later. The adults let it linger a little bit, but I often think it's not whether you come here and win the championship, but just getting here and experiencing all that you can and meeting these people from around the globe. It's fabulous. And for the youngsters from Curaçao here who are trying to close it out, it's a great baseball story to see an island down there that has produced one great major leaguer, and Andrew Jones has suddenly become a hotbed of baseball down in the Caribbean. And a great story. Leadoff hitter walks. There are 7 youngsters on this Curaçao team who could be back. That's right. You can see. Notice that Carolina, who homered, well, he was born in May, and if they hadn't changed the rule, he would have been ineligible next year. But because he will turn 13 after May 1st, he gets that extra year of eligibility. That'll be a rule change next year, and it does mean that we're going to have more 13-year-olds coming to the Little League World Series. And now one gets away. Rafaela zips into second base on a wild pitch. Well, this is where the team from Curaçao hurts you with their experience. They will bunt and keep the pressure on until they get another run.
Leading it by 3, Brando the batter. 1 ball showing bunt all the way here.
You know, when you're talking about building franchises like they're doing down there with the youngsters, this man right here,
look at that.
Right? He started coaching when he was 20. He's now 23 years old.
Pretty good advice. Push that bat out on that bunt. Huh? Is that what they taught you to do, Harold, out there in Eugene?
Get that bat out in front of you? Absolutely. Down there, yes, indeed, in Oregon.
Right to the first baseman. They're liberal getting out of that baseline, aren't they? He said, "You're not going to touch me, man." But the bunt's successful, and Rafaela pulls up at third base. Now here comes Gurria. We're back at the top of the order. He's batting in that leadoff spot. Christopher Gurria, one of their 4 returning veterans, trying to close it out. He'd like to give himself a 4-run cushion if he can.
You know, it's interesting, Brent, that they're playing the infielders back in this situation. Now, ground ball's going to pick up a run. A little surprising they're not drawn in down 3 runs here in the last inning. He's playing for outs, but the other thing is he's looking for a strikeout. Now, this young man, he came his first year coaching the Little League, taking the program, 20 years old. Now he's 23. You don't see a lot of coaches that are coming here. They usually have sons on the team or have been in the program. This is quite a commitment by him, and he should be thanked down there in the islands for his commitment.
First and third pull way in. And as you have explained through your coverage, it's hard to squeeze in the Little League if the first and third baseman can leave. You can't leave your base early. So it's tough. There's the eyes of a linebacker, folks, if I ever saw it.
That's a big strikeout right there.
Well, it was Curaçao beating Thousand Oaks, California a year ago, and Jurickson Profar hit this tremendous home run to give them a 3-0 lead. Jonathan Shoup then came on, and he relieved Carlos Pineda. 5-2, Curaçao. One and 2 out. This will score a run. No, it's the third out. Yeah, he checked that.
No, that's a great play.
It was a great play. He knew it right away.
Here comes the kids from Hawaii. They've had to come back now. They're still in the part of that order that can bring them back. A 6-3 ball game. We will see if the experience for the kids from Curaçao pay off, or if these youngsters from Hawaii can actually pull this out, Brent.
And you know, Harold, we've talked about just what a fabulous experience it is for these youngsters from around the globe to come here to the Little League World Series. You just can't beat it.
I just remember running from the bus right down to look at the field. Oh, it's huge! I was like, wow, that's a nice field.
When
we pulled up here, we were all excited, and I don't think I fell asleep that night till 3 in the morning.
Once you step on the field, like everyone's screaming for you, it's fun. Try to talk with the Asians a lot. We've learned a few words from them, hi and bye.
On the field, doesn't matter where you're from, it's just you all play baseball.
Нет, ну, был, конечно, так, нормально, легко было общаться. Разговаривали на английском языке.
Muchos niños quieren tener esta oportunidad y no muchos la tienen.
Oh, I'll remember it until the day I die.
Awesome.
Put it in a sentence for me.
It's awesome.
It is indeed awesome, man. It has been a fabulous experience for everybody. The Hawaiians and the youngsters from Curaçao. Last at bat coming up for the Hawaiians. I want to remind everybody, because we have a very, very important story breaking down in the Gulf on Hurricane Katrina. Roaring in towards New Orleans. Forced evacuation by the mayor earlier today. And down in the lowlands, people trying to get out of town. And we obviously urge everybody, if you've got time, get out. Don't mess around with a hurricane that's hitting 165, 175 at last report. But just as soon as we finish, we're going to leave quickly and get you to your news, except in the Pacific and Hawaiian networks. And they'll get you right up to date what the timing is, when they expect it to hit land, what the latest target might be. A very, very important story. And again, on the part of all of us here, our hearts and our prayers go out to everybody down there in the bayou and all up and down the Gulf Coast. We certainly hope for the best tonight. So here we go now for this tremendous Hawaiian team. 6-3. Pabao will lead it off. Need 3 to tie it. Garia on the mound. Hawaii tied it with back-to-back home runs. Remember, back in the 3rd. These youngsters not giving up. They came here to take it to the 6th.
They're still chanting.
You bet. Unbeaten in Williamsport.
It's been quite a ball game.
Yeah, it's been a great championship. Swung on that high pitch.
I tell you, the way it started off for the kids from Curaçao, you thought no chance. Bases loaded, no outs in the 1st. They had to make a pitching change, and they were able to pitch out of it. And it's their 3rd pitcher in the game. They've scrapped and fought. Their best pitcher pitched yesterday. And here they are with a 6-3 lead.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Just even overall, I mean, I think you and I would agree. We kind of left life just, well, okay, those things happen. Little island like Curaçao breaks through, but hey, there was nothing fluky about that. We look at what they've accomplished here, and remember, Japan beat them earlier in the World Series 9-0, and they came back last night against Japan in the international final and shut them out 2-0. They're very well coached. They know their baseball. Down in Curaçao, they're to be complimented on the program they put together. And now the Hawaiians trying to mount something here as Vaughn fails. And we've had some comebacks at the World Series this year. The largest one, of course, by that team from Lafayette, Louisiana. 7 runs against Kentucky, and then Guam did it against Mexico. Hawaii's been a front runner much of the time, although they did trail 3-1 in this game before they tied it. Now they're back 6-3. Stepping in now is Quentin Guevara. Bats right, throws left. He was the starting pitcher. So we are straight up on the hour. And again, a reminder to those of you on the East Coast and the Midwest waiting for news. We're going to go there just as soon as we finish. 6-3. This is the last inning. Little League Baseball 6. These are the youngsters from Hawaii at bat against the island of Curaçao. It's an all-island festival final here, isn't it? If you think about it. The youngsters from Hawaii, from Oahu, about 20 minutes from downtown Honolulu. Great support by the wonderful people over there. And no matter what happens here, they're going to be feted as heroes by the time they get back. They'll have parades and everything else.
Well, and they get lasting memories too with the uniforms. You know, Little League allows them to keep their own uniforms. They get to keep this uniform, take it with them when they get here. You know, all the sponsors of Little League are constantly donating, give them a gift bag. It's like going to the Grammys. You know, they get so much stuff, and it's a great experience for the kids.
Could be trouble. Base hit. And Vaughn zips all the way to 3rd, gets away again, and the runner will take 2nd, and Hawaii mounting a threat here in the 6th inning.
Now, Brent, you talk about adjustments. It was interesting with 2 strikes, the adjustment he makes to move right on top of the plate. Look at where he's standing. There's nowhere the ball can go. He fought it off. The ball flipped into right field, and it mounted a comeback.
Vernon Isabella out to the mound. And the way he's reacting, he feels that Garia right now is his best chance. He has a 3-run lead, and how big is it now that they did not get that runner in from 3rd base to have a 4-run lead? You've got the potential tying run standing at the plate right now.
Right. You always play where a grand slam doesn't beat you.
So Ty Topak drops down a bunt. Safe. It is a 2-run game on the squeeze play. Beautifully executed.
Well, this is what happens when you have 11 and 12 years old on a bunt play. On a bunt play, you play for outs when you're up 3 runs. But he's going to go ahead and elect to go home. Instead of going to first base, getting the out, this is stuff that you'll learn as you get older. And it was a good idea at the time for him, but he should have probably gone to first, got the out, and now you'd have 1 out and a runner at third base, and the run scores, no problem.
How happy is Pops, who's coaching at first base after his son dropped down that bunt. He's out there. Yes, indeed. There's Pops. Fellow moved to Hawaii from New Jersey. Story that we related a little bit earlier. Loves living over the islands, and now Hawaii brings what would be the winning run to the plate. They trail it 6-4. Zachary Rossetti. And out on the hill, they're getting kind of excited. This has been a heck of a Little League championship game. One of the best we've ever seen. There'll be a pinch runner. Harrison Cam comes in.
Well, here's another look at the play. Excellent bunt. Just dropped it perfectly and got the base hit out of it. And you talk about reactions. Are they fired up? Do they understand the situation? Yes, they do.
Zachary Rossetti now chokes up on a bat and fouls one away. Runners on first and third. You're down by 2. Harold, would you send the runner from first in this situation?
I would force them to have to throw at this level. That, you know, there are a lot of double plays that get turned, but they're playing their infield back. They're now thinking about getting 1 out at a time.
Cam is the pinch runner. Base hit. It's a 1-run game. The potential tying run at second base. And the top of the lineup is coming up without anybody out. How about this Hawaiian Little League team?
And Brent, you're probably asking the question at home, why haven't they changed pitchers? They don't really have anything else to go to. They've used their pitchers, and the best pitcher, Profar, pitched yesterday. He's not going to be able to pitch. This is a good timeout right here by their coach. Settle things down, calm down this crowd.
So the United States champion rallying here against the defending champions from the island of Curaçao.
Let's go. Let's get you down in front. Let's go.
Liviato talking to his son.
Well, he's probably more than likely bunting in this situation. He's one of the best bunters on the team. Now, if you're going to bunt in this situation, first and second, for you young players out there, you want to bunt this ball down third base. Because you have a forced play at third. You want to force that third baseman to handle the baseball so the runner can advance to third and move the runners up.
Brandau, the third baseman, pulled way in. Liberia's in at first base. Harrison Cam is at second base. Zachary Rossetti, the Hawaiian runner, at first. And here's Aliviato at the plate. He moves way up in the box. Shortened up the bunt, took a strike.
And that's a great idea. When you're bunting, if you can move up in the box, it keeps that ball fair when you bunt. Now watch, he's got all this area up in here now. If he bunts the ball, that's going to keep it fair for you.
6-5. Curaçao ahead. Nobody out. The Hawaiians runners on first and second. And this one too far outside. Remember, this is the last inning, in case you just joined us and aren't familiar with Little League Baseball. 6 innings is regulation. Hawaii, the home team, trying to come back from that deficit. And now 2 balls and 1 strike. Dinos, Aglape, and Baniaga are the next hitter for the Hawaiians. And it is suddenly 3 balls and 1 strike.
And what a great job of having discipline of his plate, of his strike zone. You want to bunt strikes. You force the pitcher to throw strikes here. Most times when you mess up on a bunt play, he's tapping his bat there like, Dad, I want to swing. What are you doing? Give me the bunt again.
I thought the same thing. I said, uh-oh. They just gave him the tape. And it goes full. Remember, he rifled a single into left field in his last at bat. Now Pops flashes the sign. 3-2 here. Nobody out. Sign, runner out at second base. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Cam moves to third base. Earlier, when they were down 2, Keeney Enos led off with this home run. Then it was followed by Aglipay. They were tied, but now, with the bases loaded for Hawaii, here comes Keeney Enos. Tying run at third base. Chance to win it right here in the bottom of the 6th. The United States hasn't won a championship for 3 years. Last one by Louisville, Kentucky. Hawaii trying to break through right here in dramatic fashion.
This is the experience. All 3 of these kids gathered at the mound have been here before. They won the championship last year, and they came out and had a conversation. Jurickson Profar called that conversation. Here's what we got to do, guys. Now, it's interesting enough, they're still playing back enough to knock the ball down. You still have the lead by 1 run if you're a Curaçao.
Now Enos, he shows bunt. He was taking on that first pitch, and it's a strike. Liviato making him throw strikes, making him work on the mound. Ground ball. Profar will come home. Out on the force. 1 out. And it was Profar, their star, making a strong throw. 1 out. Bases loaded. He's their leader.
What a tremendous play. Now he's playing double play depth. Want to cut the run off. But watch his range and understanding of the game to throw this ball home. I mean, you talk about a terrific play in the last half of an inning. Woo, and leading. He took charge, told the pitcher where to throw the ball, and then he set the defense.
Aglipay steps in. Strike on the corner. He has homered once earlier in the game, and he has walked. Along with striking out. Tying run on third base with 1 out here. We're in the bottom of the 6th. And it's 0-2 as Gurria puts him in a hole. Remember, in the bottom of the 1st inning, Hawaii loaded the bases and couldn't score a run. Fouls it away. We ended up at 68 miles an hour that time. Wow. Rossetti is the runner at third.
When you talk about memories, they will remember this game forever.
Christopher Gurria. Ready now. Ground ball. Can they turn 2? The throw over. No, we're tied. We're tied at 6.
Just the thought that we're thinking at a Little League game they can turn 2 to end the game is phenomenal in itself. They almost pulled it off.
Rossetti scores the tying run. Now with 2 out.
Watch this relay by Profar. You talk about an arm. Gets rid of it. I mean, he has everybody down. Turbeck, the first base coach, like, there's a missile coming at me.
Here comes the hero of the last couple of games, Shane Baniaga, the youngster known as Bubbles. Whoa. Ball outside. After Baniaga, it's Michael Mamea. The only championship game ever to go extra innings was back in 1971. Chinese Taipei beat Gary, Indiana 12-3. That one went 9 innings. And here We're in the bottom of the 6th. Foul back.
Whoa.
Protect me.
Protect me. I was getting out of the way of that one. Straight back. When you foul a ball straight back, though, it's a sign that the hitter is on that pitch.
1 ball and 1 strike. 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Hawaii rallies for 3 to tie it. Now they're trying to win it.
Whoa. Well, they do have an open base out there, Brent. You can see they're pitching very careful. That open base is at second base. Doesn't have to be traditionally second and third. You still got an open bag out there, so they're going to pitch Mr. Clutch here very tough.
Swung on and missed. 2-2.
If he wants to chase a ball, then he can chase it. That's the run they're trying to cut down.
Aniaga pops it out. The center fielder started back. Now he comes in. We're going to extra innings. So for the first time since 1971, the Little League World Series final goes to extra innings.
Wow. Well, this is going to be interesting to see how they return. These kids coming back from...
Now, for those of you on the West Coast and Hawaii, stay right with us here on ABC. For the rest of the country, please join us now on ESPN2 as East and Midwest. We're going to switch to hurricane coverage with ABC News. So again, let me lead you through this just so there's no misunderstanding. In the Pacific, and I'm assuming that extends to the Hawaiian folks too, stay right with ABC. We'll stay with you. Well, we welcome everybody to extra innings at the Little League World Series Championship. And if you don't think we don't have some intensity in this game so far, take a look at Pabao, who now inherits a tied game at the top of the 7th. Is that a linebacker or what? How about the excitement on the part of the Hawaiian youngsters? And Turpak with that fabulous bunt. Twice they've come from behind. Once down by 2. Second time down by 3. And Pabao's favorite athlete is Ray Lewis, and he showed us a little Ray Lewis over there, didn't he, Harold?
He did. He had that look. And we'll see it on the mound. Well, these kids, they came here to win. Both sides very determined. Terrific ball game.
Now, the only championship game, again, ever to go extra innings, occurred back in 1971. 9 innings, and Chinese Taipei erupted against Gary, Indiana for a 12-3 win. Incidentally, Lloyd McClendon was the starting pitcher. There's a ground ball to short, scooped up by Enos, fired over a beautiful play, and the big man, Profar, is out. What a great play.
What a tremendous play. Now, Enos had a tremendous day at the shortstop. Watch him come in, though. He's got to throw this ball off balance. You see Derek Jeter make this play a lot for the Yankees. That is a very difficult play and difficult timing. Good play all the way around.
Now here comes the youngster who hit a towering 2-run homer his last time up, Soric Liberia, who was the starting pitcher in this game. We didn't even make it through an out. Walked 3 fellas and had to be relieved. And this is a good time to have a linebacker on the mound. What a relief pitcher now he would be with that mentality.
Well,
Let's just see if you can hit my heat, baby.
He already took it deep. These two are going at it. Now, we saw the stare and the trash talking. It was these two that were going at it. Now, I mean, somebody give them some pads because they were getting into it.
They should have played Hell's Bells when Pabao came out for this inning. Yeah, baby.
Gonna tell him, sit down, I'm coming after you. That was 101. That was a 78-mile-an-hour fastball from 46 feet. And he's gonna finish up.
Yeah.
He's gonna let you know right here. Sit down. Sit down.
I'm telling you. This is a linebacker out here in the pitcher's mound.
Oh man, I hate this. To applaud this, it's not like sportsmanship we used to see him, but he is competing.
This is Lawrence. Curaçao with their hands full here in the top of the 7th. Just firing bullets. That one at 99, Major League version of a 76-mile-an-hour throw.
Now you see why the catcher's setting up outside so much. Now he broke a kid, Ryan Hartley's knuckle earlier in the Little League World Series when he was bunting. So he doesn't want to hit anybody. That's why they're setting up outside.
They're going to make him tuck his shirt in right after this pitch, I'm almost sure.
Again, 99. Well, Brent, you've been around a little while, huh? You've been checking out some games? Tuck the shirt in and the ponytail.
And, you know, one of the umpires might want to slip over to the Hawaiian dugout, just kind of whisper to managers here. This youngster is something.
Well, he's throwing so hard it's not even on the charts. He's off the charts with his pitches.
Launching rockets. 1, 2, 3. Hawaii with a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th.
That pitch right there, Brent, 77 miles an hour. If you want to change that over to the big leagues, it's 100. It's getting hot in here.
Oh, mercy. Well, Harold, it's 6-6, and show everybody how we got there.
Well, a lot of defense, man. I mean, obviously there's 6 runs out there. But let's just jump right ahead in the 6th inning. We got Turpak drops the bunt, and they make the decision to go home, scores Pabao, and then the big hit right here with the pinch runner, Rennet drives the ball into left field for the base hit, and that scores another run. But then the potential almost double play as Profar lets one go and just could not get it done, and Hawaii tied it. That's how we get right here. The kids are putting it down and bringing it at us.
So the United States champions from Hawaii will try to come back. They've rallied twice to tie this game. And now Michael Mamiya, the catcher, steps in. And then that face, Von Feo, will be the second hitter, unless Mamiya, of course, ends it right here with one mighty swing. So it's Mamiya, Pabao, Guevara due up here. Maria still on the mound. Swing at that high pitch. The ace for Curaçao, in case you're wondering, Jurickson Profar, he cannot pitch. And he's like a caged lion, isn't he? He can't wait.
He's ready to go. He wants that at bat.
He's trying to get all the mojo he can. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now you can only pitch 6 innings in a Little League game if you're wondering how long pitchers can go. So
this Profar will not be able to pitch here today.
Exactly.
He shut Japan out last night in the International Championship. 3-2. Michael Mamiya, he's caught the entire game as a Rafaela. Bottom of the 7th, extra innings, drive deep, gone. Hawaii wins it. Mamiya homers in the bottom of the 7th inning and sends Hawaii home, a Little League champion for the first time ever. How about these kids from Hawaii? A classic comeback against the defending champions from Curaçao. Trailing by 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, they tie it and then win it on Michael Mamiya's home run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Your heart goes out to the defending champions from Curaçao and how well they played. Came so close on that double play. But determination, like that shown right there by Von Feo, led the way. And it was a never, ever give up performance by the Hawaiian Little Leaguers.
Unbelievable. What a ball game. This may be the best Little League World Series game I've ever seen. Incredible. We've had some great moments here at the Little League World Series, but this game capped it off. What a tremendous year this has been for Little League.
A classic Little League championship game. Here's a great display of sportsmanship by these youngsters from Curaçao who have been so impressive over their run. Winners a year ago, a heartbreak loss. They come and they bow to the fans from Hawaii, applauded by their fans. And now, for you in the West Coast, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to stick with ESPN2 for some interviews. But those of you on the West Coast, we'll say sayonara. You've watched the Little League Classic. The ESPN2 will stay with interviews as Hawaii wins its first ever Little League World Championship. Ever beat 7-6 over Curaçao. And Michael Mamea leading off the bottom of the seventh, got that high fastball and rode it out. And we check in with Sam Ryan. Sam?
All right, Brent. Leighton Oliviato, the manager of this team. You can exhale now. You guys were down 6-3. What did you tell your players?
I told him, if you want it, go get it. I mean, it's out there for grab. I mean, we struggled on our pitching, but you know what? Last inning, we came back and it starts a fire again, and we did it.
At what point in this game did you feel like, wow, we can actually win this thing now?
Actually, from the beginning, but when our pitchers struggled, I mean, I knew we could come back because we got great hitters.
Michael Mamea steps up. He hits the game-winning home run. Your emotions on that home run?
Well, when Mike came up, I just told him to, you know what, you're going to get a hit right now. And he did it, and we won. I mean, I'm so happy, so excited, and I don't know what to say. Mike, Derwin, this is for you guys.
Let's throw it over now to Penn Holderness with the hero.
Yeah, Mike, your new name, I think we're going to call you Mr. August, if that's okay. Awesome home run. What went through your mind with that ball?
I just wanted to make contact with the ball, and I left the field.
Yeah, you made contact. What are your emotions right now? You just won the Little League World Series.
I'm excited that I hit the home run.
What does this mean, not just to you, but to your teammates, also to the state of Hawaii?
It means we're the new world champions.
And I think I just heard your coach say, and I've always wanted to say this, you just won the World Series. What are you doing now? You're going to Disneyland.
Yeah. We are.
That's what I've heard. Back up to you, Brent.
All right, man. I love that reaction. We are? That's great. I'm going to Disneyland. It's better than that. Well, Hawaii, I think the headline here at Williamsport said it best. Fantasy Island. And that's indeed what it is tonight. Just a classic performance. Certainly one of the best championship games that I have ever been around. Had a little bit of everything in it. What a remarkable comeback.
Oh, an incredible comeback. And you know what stands out in my mind from having been here 10 days? The best two teams played a great game because these were really the best two ball clubs, and they entertained us with home runs, great defensive plays, tremendous pitching, and you saw the heart of 12-year-old kids who love to battle.
12-year-old kids, and it's the heart of a champion right now.
Absolutely.
First ever title, and of course a heartbreaking loss for Curaçao. So close to back-to-back championships, and they're the first team that repeated that did not put that second title up, even though Long Beach, California won their second because of a forfeit. But again, it was 7-6 as Hawaii, trailing 3-1 on the bottom of the third, tied it, trailing 6-3 in the sixth, tie it, and win it on Mamea's home run. 7-6 in the bottom of the seventh. It has been a fabulous couple of weeks. We want to thank in particular all the volunteers and especially our crew. They did about 30 games. The cameramen and the audio people and everybody. What a fabulous job. So long, everybody.
Don't tell anyone this, but I think my parents rock.
For good luck, I chew the same piece of gum for 12 days, and I save every piece.
People call me Moose because I make a noise that sounds like a goose.
You got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain. Let's go right here. Man, that looks fun sliding down that hill. Who's going to have fun doing that tonight?
Me.
All right!
I know it hurts. Don't you ever forget what you did for this town.